And people want to know, why did you stay with the group then? Like, I mean, you must have been enjoying it a little bit to stay with the group.
No, not really. The group wasn't even around long. You know what I mean? The group started breaking up a long time ago, especially when it was built on a lot of lies and, intimidation, and manipulation. So, ultimately you asked me before we went to break, you said what my intentions were. Really, ultimately my intentions are to clear the lies, the rumors, let people know the allegations are true. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different kids out there that share the same testimony. And then, the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the ungodliness and the wickedness of human beings who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Romans 1:18.
And I agree with you, Raz. And I think that is bigger than you. Like, I understand you're trying to be vindicated, but I think it is about the other young men who are going through scenarios like this and who aren't speaking out. That's why it's very important that you choose your platforms wisely. I don't necessarily think World Star is a good platform, and I don't necessarily think promoting your album after saying you got your anus tampered with is a good platform.
Raz, I have a question, and legally, you're carrying this out on the internet, World Star, and making these videos. The question a lot of people have is, why have you not gone and filed the police report? Because I think you still have a little bit more time for the statute of limitations, and I think that would help a lot of people take it more seriously once you go and get the authorities and they can start investigating. Are you planning on contacting the police?
Yeah, we're in contact with the police. I mean, it's a process. It's an ongoing process. You know what I mean? But, vengeance is the Lord's, ultimately. Like I said, it's important that I can go on with my life because I have a child, you know what I mean? And I encourage all kids around the world to be bold and be brave, and to speak out.
Raz, if you have a child, it is your responsibility to go to the police, because we got to start setting examples of true pedophiles if they are out there doing this. You, as a father, you owe that to your son. You've got to go in there. You've got to file that police report. Then it takes it from being some shit on the internet to some legal shit. And then they'll investigate and they'll prove all of your allegations correct and true. And then you won't have to do anything.
Because what it sounds like to me is...
I agree. Quentin told me, if you listen very closely, Quentin told me that when he came around Chris Stokes was beating him. He was going to court for a molestation.
Let me ask you a question, Raz. Have you ever attempted to extort Chris Stokes or Marcus Houston for money? Because, that's what Omarion said in the interview with Bossip. He said that, this is all about money. Have they ever cut you a check to tell you to shut the fuck up?
Basically, when we was there at that retraction tape, basically what happened, we had a meeting at Mike Conception's house. Chris came out the meeting. He pretty much said, Mike is my dad, my godfather, and I do whatever he tells me to do. Chris signed on a piece of paper that he'd get me a car, which I had. It was in Marcus Houston's name. He also got my brother a car, and he got my mom a car that she still has right now. So basically, the thing was, my mom is like, the family. And she was like, man, this is too much. Chris Stokes has been calling my mom and calling my grandma or grandfather. It's just too much.
Okay, your mother was on drugs, but where was the rest of your family? Father, brother, cousins, homies? Who was there for you to talk to? Like a man in your life to go over there and whoop his ass
when I heard
if he was playing with you like that?
It was a manipulative force and a bubble around, and Chris would always want to keep us over there and keep us waiting.
Okay, look, so Omarion, like most victims, again, Omarion hasn't said anything about being fucked or not being fucked or whatever, and now all these allegations are at his front porch, and it's
the back door.
A lot of people say Amari is gay. I mean, when I'm at these pride festivals and different people, they come up to me and they say, if Amari's not trying to get out there, he needs to slow down. These are the rumors that I hear about.
But they said the same thing about all of y'all. I mean, honestly, when you was on Noah's Ark, they was the rumors about you being gay was running rampant. So.
And just for the record,
like I said, coming from that group and people calling B2 gay, I'm so, not afraid to risk my public image to send a message. We're talking about HIV and AIDS characters. You know what I'm saying? I got someone in my family that has the virus. There's a difference between HIV and AIDS. And at the same time, this was a part of my testimony that I already knew that I had to walk through to clear my name. Because, living over there, man, it was nothing but a bunch of lies and intimidation and manipulation. A lot of people wonder why
I do want to go back to the Omarion thing.
A lot of people want to know why BGK probably never come back together is because people like Amari, they still want to hold on to these lies. Amari never tell you what happens between his mom and a group member. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. Somebody fucked Omarion's mom. Who's Delonte West?
Delonte West?
Mom?
People will never talk about that. People will never talk about all type of different things.
Was it Fizz?
Are you going to talk about it? Who did it?
It was a Fizz?
I'm talking about all this stuff in my book.
Okay. I've never known victims to victimize other victims, and what some people are saying is by you throwing Omarion under the bus and dragging his name out and tweeting him publicly in front of thousands and thousands of people that he got fucked too, that it's a way of re-victimizing or taking advantage of an opportunity to attack him.
Let me tell you, this was sad. Chris and Amari, they put out a press release years ago said that I was lying. Now
Okay.
you guys, so I guess me and Quentin are just liars then.
I don't see no man lying about getting his anus tampered with.
I don't see that.
Right.
And if I didn't have God, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what is my goal trying to promote an album, telling everybody I've been my ability? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the business.
And I don't think
that you claim to be not homosexual really makes me believe that you possibly could be telling the truth. Because I don't understand why a straight man would lie like that, unless you're just a suicide bomber.
I got a 5-year-old kid, man. I got a 5-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can tell you. I got a 5-year-old son. And for every father out there, if they walk through what I walked through, you know what I'm saying, you would really have to know the Lord.
So Chris is your cousin, and he molested you, allegedly. And then also Marcus Houston, he molested Marcus Houston, and then Marcus Houston molested you as well? Is that... I've never seen Chris Stokes, other than the time I was in the room with Marcus, actually ever do anything. But I believe in my heart that Chris Stokes molested Marcus Houston as a child too.
the allegations were that Chris and Marcus were actually together, sleeping in the same bed.
Well, that's what I heard too, and that they had matching cold sores on their lips when they used to show up at parties. That's what I heard. Allegedly.
I've actually witnessed them in the same room together many a times.
Have you seen them in the bed together?
Yes.
What's the worst thing you witnessed with all this molestation? Like the worst thing that happened to you or what you've seen?
Or nastiest?
The nastiest thing, the grossest, whatever, the most revolting thing.
I mean, it was some crazy stuff happened over there. I mean, all that stuff, to me, all that stuff was sick. So me seeing all that was like really sick. And none of us are gay. You get what I'm trying to tell you? None
You keep
of us are gay.
saying that,
So,
RazB, but it's a lot of people out there that will say, no, if you let a man suck your dick, if you let a man put his dick in your ass, you're gay.
Well, but I think there's a difference between being a homosexual and raping kids. I mean,
Yeah, big
yeah,
difference.
it's a big difference. That's why I'm not ashamed of my sexuality. I love women. I'm not gay. And, you know, I'm not afraid. You know what I mean?
No
Right.
confusion at all.
Raz, we have to turn this negative into a positive. We need to get a line of I Got Stoked t-shirts and pass them out.
What about I got the shame on you campaign. And then, you know, I got my girl. I've been with my girl for 4 years, man. My girl's been by my side. She's been very supportive. And this shit is crazy, man. Like I said, I just want to be able to move on with my life, man.
How far along are you in getting on Oprah? Because I know Tyler Perry has this show coming up with Oprah where he has 200 guys that have been molested. How far are you really trying to get on
have
there?
you reached out to Oprah?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always wanted to be on Oprah's show. I never knew I would have a story here or some substance to talk about. You know, if it being God's will, I believe they already did the show, but if it being God's will, I'd love to be on Oprah. A lot of people approached me about the whole thing. So I was just like, you know, oh, that'd be kind of cool, you know what I mean? But it's dope to see Tyler Perry and other people come out and talk about their story because they can really get some healing about it, you know, and get some healing for it. You know what I mean?
I wonder why Chris and Marcus wasn't fucking Little Fizz, though. Like, he was the one everybody thought was cute. Like,
Yeah, he has the good hair and everything. Like he has great hair. He's cute.
Check this out. I'm about to throw that nigga completely under the bus. That nigga was the first nigga to take it in his ass on my mama.
Damn, Fizz.
Damn, shots fired. That's shots fired.
Whoa. Say that again?
Little Fizz was the first one to take it in his ass by Marcus Houston.
Yeah.
You know what?
There were rumors allegedly that Fizz was with Bow Wow. Was that true?
I'm gonna tell you like this. Bow Wow used to always come over to the house in Diamond Bar, and Bow Wow used to always come to our spot. They used to always Fizz and Bow Wow used to always hang around.
Used to dress alike.
And I've always seen some weird shit before. Trust me, I've seen some.
Raz, I gotta say, Raz, at some points in time when you do talk, you do sound like a woman who's been ran through and now she's scorned. And it seems like you just want to embarrass these guys sometimes. Like I have to ask you again, what is your overall purpose and motive?
Speak for children all around the world that can't speak for themselves. Completely be vindicated. Put all the rumors and lies, the truth. Everything, all the truth has to come to the light. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, RazB, man, like I said before, man, like the fact that you claim to be not homosexual and you're coming out with this, you're a very secure individual, you know, and I salute you and I applaud you. And like I said, man, put the purpose before the profit, the message before the money. You are a symbol. You're a mouthpiece for people that can't speak.
Mouthpiece.
And you know, you can't be promoting your album and talking about getting your anus tampered with all in the same sentence because nobody will take you
I agree.
serious.
I think that's some really good advice. That you should probably just really go hard in the paint with the allegations.
Pause, nigga.
Well, with all that, and then you know the money for the album that's gonna follow. I think you need to focus on this, and I think you need to get some help. You've been hurt. Take it to the hole.
And you know, Raz, you've inspired a lot of Halloween costumes this year. A lot of people want to cover themselves in blood and say that they're your anus for Halloween. So
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne.
That nigga was crazy.
Charlemagne,
You know,
you are
and Raz,
absolutely-
but let me tell you,